So we're 5 days out from the Otago Rally. Last week we had a yarn to Matt Summerfield, which was pretty cool. Most people know Matt Summerfield. He's been around the rally scene for quite a while. Today we're with Garet Thomas. Garet Thomas is one of the up-and-comers in the Mainland Rally series in the South Island. So a few of you would know who Garet is, and for those that don't, well, you're probably going to learn something today. So a little bit about Garet. For last season in particular was pretty good. So recently second overall at the West Coast Rally, and last year one of the last events was Ashley Forest Rally Sprint, where Garet placed 4th overall, which is a huge achievement, and 1st for unlimited 4-wheel drive. Then some of the other rallies: 2nd in Hamner, 3rd in Nelson, which meant that at the end of the season he was 5th overall in the Mainland series and 2nd in Class D, as well as that a couple of 3rd places for some rally sprints.
What was that?
Must have been
iMessage, maybe.
iMessage. Alright, we're good. I can chop that. So yeah, let's get into it, and let's get to know Garet. So Garet, how old are you? Tell us a little bit about your family and what you do for a day job.
Yeah, 30 years old, and got a 3.5-year-old daughter, Ella, and Gemma, co-driver, wife. And a farmer by day. So yeah, that's pretty much all I do.
Yeah. Awesome. And how is it having Gemma, your wife, as a co-driver? So she's normally sitting here. How does that go for you?
Yeah, it's definitely good having her. It does make life a lot easier because just like the organisation of everything, and we don't really seem to have too many problems, not too many scraps in the car.
you don't bring your any issues at home to the rally?
No, we try to leave that behind. I don't pull the mic out too often.
Yeah.
No, that's all going good. Yeah.
Yeah. And how long have you been rallying for?
So this is my 3rd season. We did 1 year in an Evo 2, and then last year in this car that Dave built, and then so this is the first kind of good crack at this year. We're just kind of testing the car out a bit more last year.
Yep. And so those that don't know, so Dave is your father-in-law, and pretty passionate about rallying. Did that have any influence for getting into motorsport?
Yeah, definitely. I first went for a ride with Dave in his car, and then it's pretty good. So I did a bit of co-driving, and then only did one event co-driving, and then decided I want to sit in the driver's seat. So yeah, went and got a car.
And how does it go beating the father-in-law?
Oh yeah, it's alright. yeah. I don't know. He probably still thinks he's quicker.
Yeah.
In his head. Nah.
Which is kind of a hard case, Dave. You've been doing it for a while, and then your son-in-law jumps in the seat, and
probably because he reckons I've got a better car.
Of course, always a better car.
Yeah.
So then, for rally cars, that's it. Just these two.
Yep.
This one and Mitzi. No other motorsport prior?
Motocross before this. I did quite a lot of motocross before this.
Yeah.
Which probably has helped a bit, yeah.
Yeah, there's actually a lot of drivers that do the kind of switch from motocross to into a car, something with a roof and protection around you.
Yeah, it's a bit nicer on a cold day and stuff. Chuck the heater on.
Yeah, you can imagine. What's been and what is your inspiration to go rallying?
Just get away on the weekends, really. Have a bit of fun. I just love it. Once you're in the car, it's there's nothing like it, really. It's just so much fun, and like the adrenaline and everything. It's just one of a kind of sport. I suppose we're lucky to be able to do it. A lot of people can't, so got to make the most of it, really.
Yep. Definitely. Any drivers that inspire you to lift your game?
There's a heap of them. Like anyone who's good, really. It doesn't really. I actually do enjoy watching a bit of everyone and taking different bits of what they do. and then trying to make the best out of it. But I like to, I kind of watch and learn a lot, and just talking to a lot of people seems to help. But the rally scene is good like that. Like everyone's real keen to just chat about stuff, and
and that's what it's like in competition. Like, yes, you often look at people at the top of the game, which is say WRC, but you also bring it back down to something more obtainable, and you're looking at people amongst your class, and you're also looking at them and seeing what they do. And
and everyone's pretty keen to share their info and stuff like that. It's nothing's majorly secretive.
Is there someone in particular that you benchmark yourself against when you are competing?
Yeah, there's probably like around my speed would be like Dave Quintock or someone like that. John Giltrap. They always seem to be roughly the guys who we're competing against. I'd love to say someone like Matt Summerfield, but he's out of my league at the moment.
And sometimes it's like when you do, when you are comparing yourself to somebody and that's your benchmark, it's quite a good feeling when you are beating those particular people. Like, you don't have to necessarily be beating the top, but amongst your own little competition.
It'd be nice to get up there, which is definitely something I'm keen to strive for, but like it's not going to happen overnight. So like those guys have been around a long time,
definitely.
So it's kind of just more for me getting time in the car and just getting to know the roads and stuff like that, really. And
that's the thing, like I think because you are so new in the sport, there are a lot of people going, who is this Garret? And seeing you consistently up the top is is a credit to your work.
It is good to be up there. And
Gemma.
She's done all right.
So like, what's the difference from placing, say, top 10 to top 3? Is it a mental shift, a physical shift, or is it vehicle prep? Because in the big scheme it doesn't seem like a lot, but placing 10th to 3rd, like, it's quite a big gap, isn't it?
It is. I think last year we found like vehicle prep was probably a big thing. We were not under prepped a lot, but we just were ironing out a few problems in the car, so it kind of was hard to get some top results. But once we had no car problems, it's just consistency. I think you don't have to win every stage, or if you're in the top 3, you've got a pretty good chance. Or it's a long day. That's what I've kind of found now. Let's just hang in there and see what happens.
That's right. And then so on that one, so you're currently battling for the top spot in the Mainland Rally Series. Is this your primary focus this season?
Pretty much. This season's just Mainland. We are doing some NZRC Cat 5A. Just see how it goes. We haven't really entered the whole thing. We're not too sure if we'll go up north or not yet, but just get Otago out of the way and see. I think we kind of planned a bit of stuff last year and it all fell through because of car problems, so I've learned this year just chill out a bit more and see what happens.
Then as Matt was saying in his last interview, so the difference, when you are focusing on, say, winning the bigger picture, it kind of can change your shift towards your individual performances, e.g. each rally. So like, how do you kind of play that game? Like, A, you're trying to play it safe, but B, you're trying to be as fast as you can.
Mainly from the start I've probably tried just to keep it on the road as much as possible, but you can't really go out there and worry about that, otherwise you're probably in the wrong sport. So you just gotta you still have to drive fast, but like once you're trying to drive too fast you're always slower anyway, I've kind of found. So you just gotta be there every stage, every event. You've got to just be in there, otherwise
smooth as fast, isn't it?
Seems to be.
What's it like having family that are so supportive and so involved in rallying?
It's made it a hell of a lot easier. Like, we've got Gemma's family's obviously right into it, and my family have really come on board this year, and helping out with servicing and all that kind of stuff. So financially it makes it a huge amount easier for us, which is one of the biggest struggles I'd say of the sport is just getting the money there. and we do pretty much everything ourselves. We haven't really, there's not a lot of stuff on this car that hasn't been done ourselves, so that makes it way easier.
Yeah, and that's right. So most people in the sport, you know, a lot of it is self-funded, you know, with a little bit of help from supporters.
Yeah, like we've got our sponsors and stuff, which we really appreciate what they do. Like, yeah, without them, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. So yeah.
No, it's a pretty cool effort, getting everyone involved, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's a good feeling. Like, especially if you can deliver some decent results, you actually feel like you've given them something rather than. I'm not so worried. But
Yeah. It's quite funny because, like, you know, even though you're out there to win and you're kind of competing, but it's actually a nice feeling being able to, like, share the success.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
with everyone that's been involved.
Yeah, and like it is quite a team sport. Like, a lot of people probably wouldn't understand how many people are involved in this one rally car, but there's a lot of people on the day that are there. It's not just me and Gemma sitting in the car, or it's not just me driving it.
Oh, like, definitely. That's right. Like talking about your service crews.
Yeah,
and
if
stuff
I can't
like that.
fix it or can't fill up fuel, whatever, I'm no good. It can't go any good anyway.
Yeah, and the amount of people that help out behind the scenes. So, for example, at the moment we're down at Dave's workshop in Woodend, and Muffs has just had the car up doing a wheel alignment. You know, this is people that are doing stuff, you know, off their own back in their own time. Like, and there's a lot of it, isn't it, that goes unseen.
Yeah. I think it has to be the way, because otherwise you just can't run a car like this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's pretty awesome having that support. Your worst moment in your short rallying career to date?
Probably sliding off the road in Canterbury Rally, the first stage. I felt like we were actually going pretty good. And yeah, just one stupid mistake, and it wasn't a major. We got pulled back on the road, but just ruined the day.
Yeah. So you managed to keep competing after that?
Yeah, we went back out a couple of times.
Yeah.
Broke a couple of axles, just mechanical stuff, and decided to call it quits.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, frustration can also play a big part on your mental game as well.
Yeah, exactly. You have to be on your A game, really thinking about things. Otherwise, if you've got things in the back of your mind that you're trying to make up for lost time, it's just it's not going to work.
Yeah. That's right. And best event or moment since you've been competing?
I don't know. Probably. I've always loved the Nelson Rally. Last year was real good. We got third overall, but we were right up there near the second place. But also Hamner was like our best one to date, I reckon. It was just one that from the start we got up there and really worked for it. It wasn't really just given to us. It wasn't like everyone was out because of mechanicals or anything like that. It was really fought for, so it was good. Yeah, so
a performance like that, you know, and often, you know, anyone in sports, you kind of sit back and you try and analyse what went so well, you know, for that particular performance, and could you repeat it? Like, you know, summing it up, kind of what was it that went so well, and why is it that you think that particular day, you know, you were on your game and everything just worked?
Yeah, I think Hamner's probably, I co-drove it once, so I kind of knew the roads, and then I'd done the rally once myself, so it did play a big part in actually knowing the roads a little bit, and just we had no problems with the car, and yeah, pretty much just as long as, like, I just didn't put any pressure on myself really, so it made it a hell of a lot easier. Yeah.
And this season, you know, I'm sure you will be going out to win some rallies. You know, what do you think that you're going to do to prepare yourself? You know, do you have any, I don't know, maybe rituals or things that you do?
Yeah, this year definitely just the car prep is a big thing, and then I've really just kind of trying to work on just having fun this year and just not overthinking things, and really just concentrating on what I'm actually doing. But I don't know, having fun. Once I'm having fun, I seem to drive a huge amount better. If I'm not enjoying it, there's no point. So yeah, and
that's the same even at the very top of the sport as well. You know, like the likes of Shane Van Gisbergen and stuff like that, and V8s. You know, sometimes you hear of them where they've had their most successful seasons. They've just kind of stripped it right back, and they've just gone, you know what, I'm just going to focus and I'm just going to have fun, and then sometimes the results just follow from that, don't they?
Yeah, I think just making things basic is actually quite a big thing, and we we probably did that at the start, I think, and especially with Gemma's dad, Dave. Like, he is quite a big fan of that, and like things aren't overcomplicated. You can just do what you want if you like. If you need to do something in the car, you just do it yourself. You don't have to worry about it. It's not the biggest thing. Like, some people can talk things up and make it sound so difficult, and then it's just like, it's too hard, we won't do it.
Yeah, that's right. Because sometimes, and it can be like, I know it could be in business, it could be in your work life. Like, sometimes you do overcomplicate things, and you're chasing things that don't actually make that much of a difference in the big scheme. You know, like sometimes you might be looking at 1 psi in tire pressure, and you might be looking at that 1 litre of fuel is this much weight, but sometimes when you strip it right back, if you just focus on the basics, sometimes that gives you the results, doesn't it?
Yeah, like even tyres and stuff, pretty much we've decided, like we did the Western Rally just on 1 set of tyres, got a flat tyre, chucked a left on the right or something, and we won a stage straight after that. So it doesn't, to be honest, it doesn't really matter half of the time. It's probably all in your head, but yeah. And this one, explain the feeling of being on your limit. So often with motorsport, and I'd say probably particularly like something like the Ashley Forest Rally Sprint, to be as fast as you can go, you're pretty much on the limit of being out of control, but you're in control. If you're 1 millisecond that way, or if you're 1 slight move, it can end pretty quick. But when you are on the limit and everything goes good, it's one of the best feelings ever, isn't it? Oh yeah. I think I probably do work a bit better under pressure. Even though I normally say I hate being under pressure, but probably that kind of pressure that I can control, I seem to work alright. So it doesn't seem to worry me too much. I just focus on what I got to do.
Awesome. And so now leading up to Otago, so how many times have you competed in Otago?
So we did Otago once in the Evo, broke a gearbox, so we only got probably 3 or 4 stages, might have been 4 stages in, so it was hopeless. And then last year we had dramas the first day with this car, got it going again, dramas the next day, didn't even make it to the first stage. It was on the trailer, and then we did actually rejoin that second stage. But I love the roads, they're cool. They're probably a bit fast for my liking, but they're still cool for something different. But like I said before, it is hard competing against those guys who have done this for years and years on those same roads, but that's cool because we'll get there.
Well, as Matt was saying, he was saying Gary Bush, like, he knows that literally like the back, the back of his head. It's amazing.
It's cool to watch those guys go through those, like they're just nuts.
Yeah. So therefore, you don't really have any Otago highlights yet.
No. Well, hopefully, we'll make some this year.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
So game plan this year is to
just finish. Finish.
Yeah.
I'll be happy if we finish.
Yeah, definitely. Like we were saying before, talking about prep, what do you have to do in order to finish a rally like Otago? So most rallies in the Mainland series are 1 day, and this is a 2-day event. So what are you doing differently? Are you doing anything differently?
Just hope like hell we finish. We don't really change a lot, to be honest. Carry some more tyres.
And so obviously the Otago Rally is like an absolute classic in the New Zealand rallying scene. In your opinion, what is so unique about it? What makes it so special?
It is, it's a huge event, Like, probably it is just the hype around it is so big. I actually didn't really want to do it the first year, and then we won E-Class at Westland, so we decided to go there. And then last year, I was pretty keen, but not too fast. It's just so big, and it's like overwhelming sometimes. There's just so many cars. But this year, like, I'm looking forward to it. Like, there's just the amount of cars, the amount of people there, and the famous roads. It'd be awesome to get to know them way better.
Yeah, and you're definitely right. Like, there's something about pressure, and then stepping up to like a big event like this. It could be the same. If you're playing soccer or rugby and it's your first big event in front of a lot of people and there's a lot of hype, I guess it can be quite nerve-wracking. You're saying off camera, you spend a lot of time just getting seat time. So, like, does that make you feel like you're more prepared as well, and then
Yeah.
obviously having a consistent season last year.
Yeah, definitely the seat time just made a huge difference. It's just more now we're working on our notes, so we haven't done a huge amount of noted rallies, but we're getting there. So they are starting to come into place and become more normal, I suppose. But just the seat times made a huge difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So leading on from what you're just saying there, so you and Jim are doing a 2-pass recce?
Yeah, yep. First time.
And for that one, like, how in depth are your guys' notes, with pace notes? Because it's quite a big talking point, around rallying. Tell us from your perspective.
For us, they are basic, right? We use needle ports notes, which are awesome, and then we just cut a huge amount out of it and just have just a bare minimum what we need. Like this year, we are working on adding more things into it, but we're a long way off trying to write our own notes. Yeah, but just adding those small things in is going to make a huge difference this time, I think. Yeah, like last year we went real basic, and it was just, don't know, some things catch you out.
Yeah, and you are putting a lot of trust in your co-driver, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
You know, for those that know rallying, that's it. But for the ones that don't know about rallying, like, you are relying on the person sitting next to you to deliver that next note for that particular corner or corners, and they're basically giving you a gauge for speed. So it is super important during those recce's to make sure you are making any adjustments. It's a lot of trust, isn't it?
Oh yeah. Like, Gemma's got her timing real good now, like exactly how I'd want it. My thingy might not be that fast, so it's not too far ahead. I sometimes listen to these other guys and, well, what are you guys up to? But, but it seems to work for us, and it's only going to get better, I suppose. Yeah.
Awesome. And the last question, so your goals for firstly Otago Rally, and then your goals for the rest of the season?
So Otago, main goal is to finish, but obviously try and take out Class 5A. And then the rest of it, we're just going to take it as it comes, but probably just focus on the Mainland series, and see if we can get a top 3 in the Mainland would be pretty good. So, yeah.
Well, I definitely think you're looking pretty good and pretty strong this year. So definitely watch the space. Next week is our live stream. Make sure you guys tuning in for that. Big thanks to our sponsors who have partnered with us, basically helping to cover all the costs. So that is Pattern Rally Sport and WinMax Brakes. Also Magnum Compliance Centre. They've got their service centre down in Dunedin, and Allied Petroleum as well, also on board. So big thanks to our sponsors. Any shout outs to your sponsors, people in particular you want to say thanks to?
Yeah, just everyone who helps us out. They know who they are. They make a massive difference. And just everyone in the rally community, really. They've just the advice and stuff they've given us has made a huge difference, because, like you said, we've only just stepped into this, so we need it all coming to us pretty quick. This helped.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Garet. Cheers for your time today.
Cheers.
And good luck for Otago and the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Cheers. All right, that's a wrap. Woo!